So right now I'm standing in front of an investment property in the College Station side. And oftentimes, if you're that person that wants to invest or looking to sell your investment property in College Station, then you need to stay tuned because I'm going to highlight some of the three things that you need to be aware of when you're looking to sell or even buy an investment in the Bryan-College Station area. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel, Living and Investing in Bryan-College. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe as I drop videos every week, either on the Living or Investing in Bryan-College Station. Whether you're really looking to invest in with like 9 days, even 9 months, make sure you subscribe. And of course, if you're looking to sell, then this video is going to be for you. So right now, I am sitting at the corner of Carolina and Hollywood. Now, this is 1 mile radius of the Cow Field here in Bryan-College Station. And the thing that I've noticed the most is when anybody's looking to sell an investment property or even buy an investment property, it's three things that hold people up from really understanding how to calculate your ROI, how certain neighborhoods may get a different return than others, and even the price points that you need to take in mind, and just errors in people thinking when you're coming in as a new investor. So I'm going to highlight that and starting with the first one. One of the reasons I'm walking along Holloman, which is a very popular street in the College Station side, is because if I go right across the street, you'll see different builds, different homes. And the reason you see that is because there is over 100 subdivisions in College Station and Bryan together. And the thing that you have to keep in mind is every neighborhood has a different what's called overlay restriction. Now, we talked about this in one of our videos, but just to give you a quick snippet, if I say that I want to be able to invest in a certain part of the area, you got to ask yourself, does it have 2 or more unrelated restriction, meaning I can only be able to rent to 2 unrelated people? So you may have a house that is 4 bedrooms, but only 2 unrelated people can stay there. So maybe unless you have like a brother and sister that is staying there, you can only rent it out to 3 people. And in other subdivisions, you also see 4 more unrelated. Now that is a huge difference, because when you are looking to find anything in the Bryan-College Station area, let's talk about neighborhoods. So let's say you was looking in the historic South Side area. That is one of the most popular areas where you will find investment properties, and price points can be anywhere from $750,000 up to over $1 million. Now, that's all within a mile radius. Now, you have Eastgate, you have Northgate, you have Midtown Bryan, and you have so many different others subdivisions that exist even in those sides of town. Well, depending on where you find, you may find things that's going to be in the mid 5 to 600,000, or you're going to find things that's going to be below 300,000. Now, depending on your level and investment and your strategy and what returns you want, the thing that you need to remember is that when you're looking at these different neighborhoods, keep in mind is that rents are going to be different, and each subdivision has a different effect as far as how much you can expect, and also how much money you're going to make when it comes to appreciation and just overall when you're looking at investment property. So let's talk about the second one. Being here in the college area, one of the things you realize is, as an investor or someone who wants to sell an investment, what's your proximity to campus? So right now they have what's called a mile radius, and that mile radius for campus is very critical when it comes to cash flow, which we'll talk about in a minute, but then also it's different terms. When you're buying in a college town majority like College Station, the rents that you could be able to get is going to be depending on whether kids or students are in school or not in school. So that's something you need to think of. But then also when it comes to proximity, 1 mile, 2 miles. That's going to range on the different prices you're going to pay HOA. But as you can see, like right now, right behind me is cow field. When it comes to short-term rentals, people, the hottest season is football season. Now, you have other sports, you have other things that do attract people here. But the main thing that I realize is if you're looking to sell or invest in this area, you need to keep in mind of where you're at, because the closer you are to Texas A&M, the more you could be able to make. So we'll go to my computer so we can talk about short-term and long-term and why that will be beneficial. I'm going to use a case study for a house that's within this 1 mile radius. Let's go check it out.
So back in my office, and I wanted to show this property as just one of the recent videos that we did. So if you want to go to our YouTube channel, see the tour of this property, built in 2007, it's in that proximity of being near campus. So if you wanted to kind of see it on the map, earlier today, where we were at was at the very top, and we were on Holloman Street, and we walked down, you see Detroit, Georgia, and then you have Fairview, and then you go all the way up down those streets, and bam, you're going to have Cowfield here, have the university here, and baseball here. Okay, so this here, all these areas are very popular areas that we were talking about, historic district, and even you have some of those other Northgate areas on the opposite side that goes into Bryan. Okay, but we'll stick with this because this is where we're at today. And when you see the proximity, well, the first thing I say is, okay, now I know where this is located. And if I say 267 is the price that is asking for the property, how can I know what my return is going to be? This is a common question that I have. And to be honest, I don't like to answer this question because it have a lot of variables that's tied into it. So what I'm going to do is I have this rental calculator that we put in, and what I'm using is this property, and then I'm using the estimated rents and then the estimated short-term rental that you can get. Now, I believe if you're looking at this as a parent and you say, should I buy this for ourselves? So, when we have season tickets, if we want to come to games, or, when we come down, we don't have to spend money and we can just have something there. Then here's a great opportunity for you to be able to see the difference whether you rent it out or just do the short-term rental route. But then also, if you're someone who's a first-time home buyer or first-time investor, and you say, how can I make this make sense for me? This is going to help you as well. And if you're someone who just wants to live in the area, I think this is huge because this will give you a perspective like, hey, maybe I need to leave this weekend, right? So just depending on your family dynamics, all right? So let's just look at first the game schedule for Texas A&M football. So right now we are coming up on September 14th game, which is a away game. Then we have September 21st. October 5th is that's always generally away. October 5th, then you have October 26th, LSU going to be here. And then you have a huge game with UT. All right. So what I've done is look at a house that is literally 2 blocks. Once again, as I was walking, this house was in the area. So you can be able to see, okay, what can I get for some nights? So this here, I have it for October 24th through the 27th, $800 a night. You see 3 nights minimum, total of $2,500. And you say, okay, Jabari, well, who's playing that weekend? All right, well, let's check it out. October 24th, we see, bam, I am going to be looking at LSU game. So LSU game, that's going to be the average rent. So that's just one game in the month of October that you can plan for. But also, look, Missouri is playing in October 5th. All right. Well, let's see what the rates will be for that weekend. Now, here's the thing. At some point, a lot of this get booked out where you just can't see anything. So let's just go the week before. And I don't even think it is a home game. Well, you see rates go down. But if you just look at that too, that's $700 on 1 week just from if someone's to come in. And you have the next weekend, where you have 1,900. So with 2,500, I think about 2,700 when it comes to how much you can be able to make on just in the month of October. So what I've done is go here and just put like an average of 2,500, and just so you can see what is that comparing to the rent side. So this is what you could potentially rent for. Now you determine if you do 6 months, if you do 12 months, or even month to month. I'll leave that up to you. But regardless of how you approach it, that's something that get into as you purchase it and as we get in our consultation. But you see here with down payment, with loan amount after down payment, what the estimate closing costs could be. Then this is on a 30-year and kind of what the rates were at with some of my preferred lenders that we will use on the investment property. You're looking at cash flow to be around 322 before taxes, because just so you know, if you as an investor, they don't have an escrow account, so you have to pay for taxes separately. How you do that, once again, it's completely up to you. I'll have some just suggestions. Reserve account is always recommended. But if you see, okay, my cash flow, if I have a long-term rental, is this. But if I have the short-term rental, this is how much I could make. Now, I think this can balance out depending on how you break this down. But this is helpful for a couple reasons. When I look at long-term versus short-term, and especially if I'm looking to sell this is important for those people who want to have ROI and see how much they can make. I believe long-term strategy, if it works, then the short-term should be a bonus. I don't believe you should bank 100% on short-term unless you are an Aggie parent or a former Aggie that say, I want to invest in where I went to school or where my kids are going at. And it will make sense for me to be able to purchase a property near campus that, number one, either they can live in and pay rent. That means in this case, you may not get these numbers. It may be wait till they move out, or you purchase it and you just use it as a game day home. Now, game day homes are very popular because you know you're going to come and you're going to stay here for certain games. And let's say you decide to not come those games, you can be able to rent it out, because real estate have tax benefits even if you don't have a super high cash flow. So that's something for those who are definitely making over six figures a year and you're finding ways, especially if you are a W-2, this can be helpful. 1099 can be a lot more helpful. It depends on how your tax is set up. So I'm not a tax accountant. I'm just giving a little bit of the loopholes of understanding how to look at this as you want to see how to buy something. And even if you're wanting to sell, this is important to highlight, because as someone who wants to talk to their buyers and help them see why this investment will be a good opportunity for them, is very key to hone in. If you're definitely in that location of 1 to 2 mile radius, the long term and the short term, and then being able to find the comp. So if this has been helpful for you at all, I want you to not only subscribe, but I want you to book a call, because what I realize is that sometimes you get into a lot of the nuances that I will want to maybe ask specifically. What are the questions that you have about your unique situation? You know, if you wanted to change around down payment, if you wanted to figure some out on lesser terms. Everyone has a different strategy, and investing can be very fun to talk to when I know what yours are. And these are just some of the recent questions that I've constantly got from certain people as they come into town and they're trying to find investment opportunities. So I wanted to highlight that today in this video. So thank you for watching. And as always, subscribe or like, as we're going to continue to drop videos every week, either on the investment side or residential here in the Bryan-College station area and the surrounding cities. So stay tuned. Appreciate you for watching, and we'll see you next time.